Good afternoon, guys. Doing another Quiz Your Biz, and today we are a day early, and it should be with Alison Cook when she manages to get on. Just be asking a few questions about her and her business. Sorry for the wobbly table here; it's a bit of a shaky camera. So yeah, as every single week, every Friday, I will be doing a Quiz Your Biz, which is we'll be asking a member about their own business, what they've been up to, and how they can help. Alison Cook will be the one on today. If we can get it working, we will soon find out. And she'll be telling us all about data recovery and the sort of business she does, and also sharing some top tips on making sure your data is safe. So, Alison, I can see you on there now, so I'm going to try and add you, and hopefully it will work. Just adding, and it still says adding. And still hoping your connection. Hey, it worked. Alison, hi.
Hello. Hello. Very well, thanks. You?
Yes, very well, thank you.
Had a power cut and I panicked a little bit, thinking, "Oh my God, the Wi-Fi is going to go off now." So if I exit suddenly, you'll know what it's about. I think we've got some people drilling out in the car park somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's never a good sign. Have you got the cat today as well?
Have I what?
Have you got the cat annoying you today as well?
No, I'm actually in the office. As you can see behind me, we've got probably about 15,000 hard drives. So I really love my business, but I wouldn't want them in my house.
No, definitely not. So, Alison, tell us what is your business and what you do.
Okay, so what we do is, as a company, is we work with people who've lost data. So when they have a hard drive or a flash drive or a solid state drive or something like that that's no longer accessible for whatever reason it might be, could be a drop, could be just not functioning anymore. They send it into us, and we try and work our magic and recover the information that they need. So it could be personal information, business information, could be really private stuff. We sort of have, they give their trust to us really because we're working with their most precious information.
Yeah, okay. And that sounds like quite a niche to get into. What made you get into data recovery?
It was quite accidental, really. Well, for me, anyway. Just to give you a bit of background, we run it as a husband and wife team. So it was Steve's brainchild, really, but he has been in IT repairs and fixing computers and maintaining them probably for the best part of 20 years or so. When I met him, he was living in Wolverhampton and I was in Norfolk, and he'd taken a little bit of a break from IT. So he came when he decided that we were going to move back to my part of the world. Steve was running computer repair centres in Norfolk, and he had a sort of a group of shops that he was looking after. And there was so many occasions that people would come into a computer shop and be told, well, no, we haven't got the tools for it. Sorry, we can't help you. And these poor people were going away with like no hope of getting their information back that they needed. So we decided to sort of heavily invest in tooling and got to learn about what makes hard drives tick, how they operate, and so that we can sort of really find out how to fix them. And so East Anglian Data Recovery was born in our cottage, in a back bedroom. We started off literally on a piece of MDF that was balanced on two speakers and a beanbag and one computer and one phone. So we really, really did start at the bottom. And I just got on the phone and told everybody about what we were doing. And that was probably where my involvement became in, because I'd been used to working in sales and particularly phone sales for my sort of career history. And when we first started the business, I'd just given up a job in an accountant that absolutely bored me rigid, and was just really looking for a challenge. So I thought, yeah, let's drive this on. And I had absolutely no fear. And I'll never forget that day. And I just said, we got a job, And Steve was still working full time at this point. And he was getting home and then from sort of 6 until whatever time during the night was working on the recoveries. And so we did that for about 4 or 5 months, and then probably by, I think it was October, he handed in his notice, and we just took the stabilizers off basically and went for it. Um, and yeah, we're still here 8 years along now.
Long time. So a couple of comments there. If anyone has questions as we go along, please ask them in the comments, and we will get to them as many as we can. So Ben Kelly said, "Hey Sarah." Ben Kelly said 15,000. That's a lot of hard drives you got right there.
It is, yeah. We've last year, I was just saying, we had somebody come in for a meeting, and he sort of, most of the time when people come in, this is actually our back end. This is a workshop. So the reason we have so many hard drives is that we're not just a sort of a situation where we recover data from things by plugging it in and pulling the data off. We physically repair drives here. So when a drive of a particular make and model comes in, we have to match it closely with one to make sure that the criteria on that drive are the same as the donor. It's like matching somebody's blood group, or a heart or a lung transport, something like that, that is just so unique. Yeah. It has to match really closely for it to work properly. So we have all of these hard drives behind us that are donors, and they're just literally stripped down for parts when we need them for each particular case that comes in. But yeah, there's a lot of them. They have been catalogued, but we've literally got like another 25 boxes here of things that need to go through again.
That sounds like it'll keep you busy.
So if you want a job, Dan.
I'm pretty busy myself, thank you though.
So
let me Alison, let me try and understand. So it's not when you accidentally delete a file, or you accidentally wipe things off, or you get a virus. This is when someone's like smashed their laptop or like dropped it, all right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more the equipment and the techniques that we have is an awfully lot more aggressive and technical. So, for example, the kind of things that we work with a lot are a typical repair from us would be a portable hard drive that have been dropped. Say a USB flash drive is in the front of a computer, and somebody sits down with it or bangs it on the gate, so it's bent like that. These are the sort of things that we recover from all the time, and you know, it is something that you could take to a PC shop, and if they can't recover it using software, then it generally needs specialist attention, which is where we come in, because we physically repair them. We don't just, you know, copy the data off. It's not simple as that. We have to fix them before we can do that.
Sure. And how smashed up can it be? Can you have it literally in pieces, or is it just a little bit knocked about?
Well, no. I mean, the last job we had, my funniest one that I like to quote about is we had a lecturer that up north that had his computer, he put his laptop on the top of his car, and he got talking to somebody behind him, and as he do, he got all, you know, excited with his conversation, and then he got back in his car and drove off, and the car behind went over the laptop. So it was pretty wrecked, but as long as the platters are in good health, which is what the data's stored on, then we have a chance, because we can repair all the physical parts of the drive, like the head stack and things like that. One day I'll bore you with the internal workings of a hard drive, but probably not for today. But so yeah,
for the non-technical, the platters are the plates that spin, right? And then the heads are the bits that read it. Is that, yeah?
That's it. That's right. Yeah. So the platters look a little bit like CDs. They're flat magnetic discs. I could even show you. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
That's a platter.
One of those. So it kind of looks like a mini CD there, right?
Yeah, exactly, with a hole in it, so it can spin. Yeah. But yeah, so the platters are what your data is stored on. They're the magnetic surfaces, and as long as they're not sort of scratched to death, then we generally stand a good chance in it. So we do, the way that we work is everything that comes into us has a free inspection, and part of that inspection is a clean room inspection. So if we think it's a mechanical fault, we open the drive up and check the platters, because that's the first thing that's going to, you know, be important, dictate whether or not that data is going to come back.
Yeah, okay. Sarah's just asked there as well, can you do repairs on a laptop that has some liquid damage? She's tipped some tea on her Sony laptop.
Yes. Yes, we can. Of course we can. Yeah. We've got a coffee one in at the moment. The favourite is wine. And we had one that came in last year where a guy had come back from I can't remember, he was on holiday somewhere, and he put a bottle of Kahlua in with his laptop and came back on the plane with it. Yeah, it was a bit sticky, but we got it back.
Yeah. Okay, great. Just seeing if there are any other questions there. So can you tell us like about someone you've helped that maybe a case that kind of stands out in your mind, someone that you've really helped that was a particularly memorable case?
Yeah, that we had one. I think it was sort of early part of last year, but we had a chap up in the northwest actually, whose house had been burgled, and they had just smashed everything up really badly, and he had something like a NAS. I think it was a NAS system, and he literally stored all of his family memories on there. Videos that he'd taken of his kids growing up, all of that stuff, and he really didn't care about the possessions that could be replaced by insurance. But he was more interested in obviously the sentimental side of it. The fact that these pictures, you can't take them again. You can. Oh, here's the dog. The dog's getting top spot now. Yeah, the sentimental thing is really what he was impressed about getting back, because he just you can't, you can redo work, you can recreate invoices and things like that, but you can't get back those memories of your family growing up and that sort of thing. So that probably stands out quite well, because he was quite tearful. I made someone cry at a networking meeting once because I got pictures back of her dad that had unfortunately passed away the previous year. So those sort of things are quite, I'm a bit of an emotional person, so I get really touched by those sort of experiences and feedback from our clients as well.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of cost would someone be looking at? Does it depend on how hard it is for you guys to fix it?
Yeah, it does really depend on that. I mean, we have a sort of a range of prices that we quote, and again, you have a sort of a logical recovery, which is more of a software issue. Then you go through to an electrical side, and the worst case scenarios I was talking about is where you have to take these hard drives apart. I would normally say if it's been to somebody like Danny or one of the computer tech guys that we've got on the forum that actually could recover it using software, prices are usually between sort of £200 and £500. But for our end users, we let them split that down into 3 monthly payments if they obviously would find that a struggle to begin with. We'd rather they had the data back. If it's not a time issue, it's much better for them to have the memories and just rule it out completely. So we try and help out where we can. Not as expensive as some people would think.
No, sure. And how long would that take to typically get their stuff back? I'm guessing you put it onto a new drive, do you, and send that back to them?
Yeah, usually. I mean, they can provide that, or if it's only a tiny amount, we can upload it to a Dropbox. It really depends how the client wants to work. On some occasions, last Monday we had somebody come in that I was speaking to on Facebook on Sunday night, whose son was due to take an exam on the Monday. And she brought the flash drive in to us on Monday morning, and he had the data back by about 2. So we saved his bacon a bit there. But it can be as little as 1 working day. It can be as much as 2 or 3 weeks. So it just depends on what damage we're dealing with and on what drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm guessing the top tip to stop this happening is back up everything all the time and just back up, right?
Yeah, I would say back
I guess people make the mistake once, right?
Yeah, well, you say that. I mean, a lot of our clients are generally sort of a one-off transaction. Obviously, they have it happen, and then they literally belt and braces everything to make sure that it doesn't actually happen again. But we have had people that have been unlucky, and we always send out a full set of instructions and explain to them that when they get the data back, that's still their one and only copy. So they need to back that up as soon as they get it, and then they're not in a sort of a situation where they're going to find it happening again. But yes, it can happen to people, and luckily and nicely for us, they do come back to us because we've done a good job. So that's good. But I would always say make sure that you don't just rely on your one copy. If your laptop is running slowly and you're trying to sort of get it to run quicker, don't make space by putting pictures onto a different drive, because you're just making that one extra vulnerable. Find somebody
Yeah.
in the group or someone that you trust to either upgrade your PC memory, get a bigger hard drive in that. Don't, but don't move things to different locations. Keep a copy of it somewhere else, because it's only a backup if you've got more than one copy.
Yeah.
Hi,
Oh,
Lizzie.
great. Hi, Lizzie.
Hi,
um,
Rosie. She's from Norfolk. Lizzie's from Norfolk.
so, so what other tips would you say to keep your hardware in good condition and working?
Well, I mean, I would always, just make sure that you've got more than one backup would be one. Copy, don't move. What else would I say? Don't take risks with it. I mean, if you've got work that you want to have on the move, I would probably say use a memory stick and take that backwards and forwards. Don't take a portable hard drive and expect it to be resilient, because by their very nature they're portable, but they're also very, very fragile. So make sure that you look after them in a physical sense as much as anything else. Um, Data-wise, in terms of making sure it's safe, well, I think other people that would be more cyber aware, as it were, don't kind of open silly emails that you don't recognise. They're getting smarter and smarter, and actually recovering data in that situation is really tough. So
Yeah.
just be vigilant about things like that.
Yeah. Okay, and what's kind of next for you guys in business? Is there any big plans for the future?
Um, well, we're expanding kind of on a year by year basis, and we have done since we started. I think what's next for us is we are in the process of developing a system where we can actually get our referral partners, because that's where a lot of our work comes in from. Will have their own logins, so they can actually access what jobs they put through to us, what status things are at, and pretty much just more of the same, really. We just want to carry on growing and giving this good service. I'm networking. I'm just keeping our name out there, really, because we have got clients literally in all four corners of the UK, Northern
Yeah.
Ireland, Scotland, Cornwall, wherever. So just more of the same. Just carry on doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Anything else you kind of want to add there, or anything we've missed out?
I don't think
Do you
so.
think
I
so?
think you're getting quite the seasoned professional interviewer now.
I'm getting used to asking lots of questions, yeah. So what I will ask you, which is completely unrelated to your business, I totally bullied you, didn't I, into doing your first live?
Sorry?
I totally bullied you into doing your first live that you did about a month ago, right?
Yeah, you did, but
Yeah,
they're not painful actually.
yeah,
I think that my problem is sort of topic matter, because I don't do different things every day. I do the same thing for different people. So it's quite. I sometimes think of things that I think about that are business related, but not necessarily related to me, like about making
sure.
sure you follow up with things, that kind of thing. But if you've not done a live, Dan's right. You do need to do one. It is a really great way of getting your name out into the group. And Darren's business network is a little bit less scary, I think, to be in, because everybody's behind you. So
Yeah.
if you're not on Daniel's list, although I think he's getting booked up now till about August, is it?
End of August, I'm fully booked apart from one slot, which needs a quizzer and a quizzee as well. So someone needs to interview somebody else, which it can be quite nice. It's quite nice to take kind of the focus off you if you're asking someone else questions rather than it being all about you and your business.
So
So
I hope that's not Darren and Chris Inzy. Is that still on July the 13th?
I should hope so. Yeah, that is Friday the 13th with with
Kind of
Chris
engineered
Enzi.
that situation, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure who was interviewing who. Is it Chris interviewing Darren or the
Darren.
other one?
Darren is interviewing Chris Indy. God help us.
Yeah, and I'm away in Italy, so there's no way I can help at all. It's going to be between them two to work it out. But everyone else needs to like nudge them quite a lot to make sure it actually
You
happens.
will. Well, we'll be bullying them along the way. I think we'll do a countdown per week. There's so many weeks left to go.
Yeah,
And I think it's probably only about 3 weeks away now. So
I think it is.
yeah,
I think next
I think
up is
I think.
Lizzie. Sorry, next week I
Oh,
think
Mr.
is Lizzie.
Lizzie,
Lizzie and the wine, and she
Lizzie,
wants to
my
do it in the evening
famous
so she can have a few glasses of wine first.
Lizzie's well known for her wine, bless her, and she's a fellow Norfolk, inhabitant. Although I know she's not a native Norfolk person, but she's been down here a little while now. So
Yeah,
yeah, and then we have Rosie, who's
yeah.
also from Norfolk. So we're kind of taking over a little bit, and I only have 5 fingers. So there you go. For anyone else wants to get a joke in about Norfolk people.
Oh, cool. I was just looking through. I don't think there's any other questions in there. No, I think that is about everything in there. So we'll leave it there. But yeah, have a good afternoon, and everyone else have a nice weekend.
Yeah,
Cool.
same
See
to
you guys.
you. Thanks,
Cool.
everybody. See you
Thanks,
soon.
Alison. Bye.
Bye.